Folks, welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and ladies and gentlemen, we are live right there. We are live after the 2024 vice presidential debate. It was the most vice-important night of the entire campaign. The vice-citement was palpable. These two men were both a heartbeat away from being interesting this evening. It was the ultimate showdown tonight between two very different Midwestern vibes. Hillbilly versus Minnesota Nice. Attack Dog versus Folk Hero. America's Dad versus America's Dad. Could you come pick me up? J.D. Vance just walked in here. Yeah. Now, the debate took place at the CBS Broadcast Center here in New York City, and that is just down the street from the Ed Sullivan Theater. So, I'm excited to announce that Governor Tim Walz is invited to come on my show tonight. Governor, come on over, sir, to sweeten the pot. I've got a free can of Diet Mountain Dew and this alternator that I don't know how to fix. I think it's the timing belt. Is that anything? Is that, here, there you go. That's really heavy. You know what? Hell, I'll settle for J.D. Vance. Come on, J.D. No, it's only fair. J.D., I'll offer you the Diet Mountain Dew as well. Plus, we have the sexiest chairs in late night. Oh, yes, Senator Vance. It's 100% brushed cotton cushions, and they're twins. Every man's dream. For one thing, I have nothing but respect for our fabulous moderators this evening, though I had one beef with the rules of tonight's debate. The moderators were not allowed to fact check. Instead, CBS provided a QR code that supposedly, if scanned, directed viewers to the CBS News website with fact checks of the candidates' remarks. And I think a QR code that sometimes took you someplace long after that part of the debate was forgotten is a great idea. And if you want to fact check if that's what I really think, just scan this QR code right there. Now, Tim Walz had his own version of debate prep a few hours before the face-off. He was reportedly seen with his Secret Service detail jogging through Central Park, which is why he took to the stage with a Statue of Liberty hat and a $20 pretzel. Now, the VP candidates were both different flavors of dull. J.D. Vance looked like a business lemur on beta blockers, and Tim Walz was, the old likable coach, but appeared to be way over-caffeinated. I think the governor done overdid doing the do. Now, for his part in the debate, Vance took us back to the peaceful administration of Donald Trump.
When was the last time that an American president didn't have a major conflict break out? The only answer is during the 4 years that Donald Trump was president.
Yes, no major conflict, a peaceful time, free of any major conflict, as we all remember from the January 6th puppy pile. Later in the debate, Vance tried to pretend that January 6th was no biggie.
It's really rich for Democratic leaders to say that Donald Trump is a unique threat to democracy when he peacefully gave over power on January the 20th, as we have done for 250 years in this country.
Yeah, after his coup failed. That's like a toddler saying, look, I went to bed peacefully at 8 p.m., and I think that it's time we stop focusing on the 45 minutes I spent screaming and biting the babysitter because I wanted more bubbles.
Come on.
When Vance tried to compare the insurrection with Hillary Clinton complaining about Russian disinformation on social media, Governor Walz was not having it.
January 6th was not Facebook ads.
He's right. It's not. January 6th.
That's right.
That's a fact check. I'll fact check that right there.
Yep.
January 6th was not Facebook ads, but if it were, it would be 10 weird tricks to overthrow the will of the people. Mike Pence can't stand number 6. Then Walz hit Vance with the question of the night.
He is still saying he didn't lose the election. I would just ask that. Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future.
Yes, Tim, I'm focused on the future. Let's not talk about January 6, 2021. Let's talk about January 6, 2025. This time we're bringing 2 shamans. At one point, Vance tried to turn one of Trump's most despicable immigration policies, the child separation, back against Kamala Harris.
The real family separation policy in this country is unfortunately Kamala Harris's wide open southern border.
Nice try. The real cheating on his wife with a porn star is Kamala Harris's immigration policy. Tragically, her southern border is the one with the mushroom penis.
Wow, come on.
Then, mushroom penis. Then,
Come on.
really?
Come on.
Mushroom penis. Then CBS's talented moderators informed the audience that the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, were here legally so they wouldn't be deported. It was less of a fact check and more of a clarification. But J.D. Vance didn't like that at all, and he kept trying to cut in, so Margaret Brennan was forced to say this.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The
we
CBP
want to have
One app has not been on the books since 1990. It's something that Kamala Harris created, Margaret.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your mics are cut.
Oh! Mic drop, literally. And if you keep this up, little misters, I will turn this broadcast center around. Then nobody gets to be vice president. Do not test me. Do not touch your other. Do not touch the other candidate. J.D. Vance tried to appeal to the Walz of maniacs watching.
You're going to hear a lot from Tim Walz this evening, and you just heard it in the answer, a lot of what Kamala Harris proposes to do. And some of it, I'll be honest with you, it even sounds pretty good.
And that's why I'm voting for Harris-Walz 2024. Wait! Wait, no! No! Oh. Ah, shoot. Trump's going to send a mob to hang me, isn't he? Then the conversation turned to reproductive rights. Tim Walz brought up Project 2025, leading to this question for Vance.
Senator, do you want to respond to the governor's claim? Will you create a federal pregnancy monitoring agency?
No, I'll just monitor them myself, starting with you two ladies. Margaret, Nora, when was the first day of your last time of impurity? And did you go outside the village to the moon hut and only return to the village after offering a turtle dove to the elders? J.D. Vance, read your Leviticus. J.D. Vance went on a whole rigmarole trying to justify the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Do you want to force Catholic hospitals to perform abortions against their will? Because Kamala Harris has supported suing Catholic nuns to violate their freedom of conscience.
What are you talking about? Nuns don't perform medical procedures. I know that, because if they did, they'd be the star of CBS's latest medical drama, OBGY Nun.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd watch that. I would watch that in a minute. Vance tried to defend his opposition to the Ohio abortion amendment.
The people of Ohio voted overwhelmingly, by the way, against my position. And I think that what I learned from that, Nora,
is that people don't like me, but I do support women's right to choose. For instance, you're both women. I support your right to cut off my mic so I don't have to answer any more questions about abortion, please. When asked about gun violence in our nation's schools, J.D. Vance had an answer: anything but what would work.
I unfortunately think that we have to increase security in our schools. We have to make the doors lock better.
And unfortunately, we have to put a wizard by the door who presents all who wish to enter riddles 3. Then also, the wizard has a big gun. It's under the hat. That's the only thing I can think of. Vance made sure to make many of his responses vague and patriotic, like this one.
We are a country of builders. We're a country of doers. We're a country of explorers.
And we must deport Dora and Boots. They are taking good American exploring jobs. They were talking about Obamacare, and when the Affordable Care Act came up, Walz talked about his longtime familiarity with the law this way.
All right, here's where being an old guy gives you some history.
I can name every Law and Order detective in chronological order, okay? You got Max Greevey, you got Mike Logan, Don Cragen, Phil Soretta, Lenny Briscoe. I could go on, okay? In the end, it was 90 minutes of constant talk that made one thing clear. Tonight was like having Thanksgiving with your most nervous uncle and your smuggest nephew. It was unpleasant, awkward, and thankfully, you only have to do it once every 4 years. We got a great live show for you tonight. My guest is MSNBC's Chris Hayes. But when we come back, meanwhile, join us, won't you?